Do you want to chime in a little bit on the Aubrey Marcus situation? I don't know who Aubrey Marcus is. This whole situation being brought up has introduced me to him and his content and material. So I'm not even going to get in on the whole controversy of the polyamory of his relationship and the details with that. My thing is, I want to get into the details of why everyone gives a crap so much. Polyamory is not for everybody. And I'm going to share a video that I just watched that talks about Aubrey Marcus's astrology and why his capacity to love is so much larger than just this 3D human experience, one person. Okay.
Aubrey Marcus's chart reveals why he was never built for traditional love. What if your partner's soul path doesn't include monogamy? What if the relationship model you're chasing was never aligned to begin with? This isn't judgment, this is astrology, and Aubrey's chart tells a powerful story. I have to break this up into 3 parts because what I wanted to speak about is really, really important for the place that we are in the world right now. Pluto in Aquarius is doing a huge shift in our relationships, and truth is coming to light, and relationships are shifting. And originally I did this recording and it was 9 minutes long. I could not upload it on TikTok. So I'm breaking this into 3 parts. This is part 1. This is understanding Aubrey's chart and the purpose of astrology in relationships. There's been so much talk about his marriage recently and how it has shifted into polyamory with the addition of another woman into the union. If you watch the recent podcast with Aubrey, his wife Alana, and I believe their new partner is Alana, I believe that it's going to bring up and has brought up a lot of emotions for anyone watching and, of course, opinions. I tried to find Alana's birth chart or birth information. I found her birthday, but I wasn't able to find where she was born or time. So unfortunately, I could not run her chart. All I know is that she is a Gemini, so I couldn't really look at their compatibility. Now, there's so much I could say about Aubrey's chart and this whole situation that it could be an entire masterclass, but I wanted to stay focused. My main reason for sharing this is to show how differently we are all wired and how we can use astrology to understand the person we're dating, to understand ourselves better, and to see if we are truly compatible or the person that we are dating is truly compatible to give us what we need, not just for the interim, not just for the short term, but for the long haul, if that is what we're searching. So just like with any reading I do for a client, I am not here to judge their path. I'm not here to judge their journey or their relationship structure. Astrology allows me to understand someone on a soul level. So what does Aubrey's chart show us? Aubrey isn't wired for conventional love, and he never was. Looking at his chart reveals a relationship path that is fluid, soulful, emotionally expansive, and multidimensional. He has a Pisces stellium in the 12th house. His capacity to love isn't linear, it's energetic. He feels connections on levels most people can't access. For Aubrey, love isn't about possession or being exclusive. It's about spiritual resonance, mutual growth, and emotional truth. He may have spent lifetimes confined in relationships that felt more like contracts than connections. And in this lifetime, his soul is asking for freedom. Freedom to choose, freedom to evolve, and freedom to love without shame.
This is something that is to be understood in our world at large. I'm one of these people. My ability to love is astronomical. I believe that if I were to just devote all of my love to one person and one person only, it's just too much. It's too much for them. And I love monogamy. But I understand polyamory. I understand it. And I understand the concept. I understand the working of it. And I also understand that it's not for everybody, especially if you're jealous, especially if you're insecure, especially if you're wounded and you're not healed and you're not a whole, complete, confident person. My issue really is with the people that are doing witch hunts that are all like, oh, death to polyamory. You guys sound like the people that had pitchforks and were hunting witches. Death to the witches, death to the mystics, death to the druids. You guys are the Christian cult. You guys are the cults that hunted people down and killed them for their belief systems. You want to talk about light, you want to talk about love, but then when it comes to other people living differently than you, you are so hateful. The biggest, the person who has the biggest heart is the person that can stand in difference and still love people. You can see a different lifestyle, and your love for that person doesn't shrink, doesn't change just because they live differently than you. The person with the biggest heart is the person that's unable to love everybody and have understanding with everything, even things they don't maybe not agree with, or things that don't resonate with their chart. Maybe in your chart, monogamy is perfect. But in a person's chart that's one, an old soul, two, has been confined in relationships, marriages of monogamy many lifetimes, and you've grown and you've grown and you've grown, because every lifetime our soul picks up where it left off last lifetime. So we have these people that do these polyamory relationships unhealthily, toxic, and then you have it healthy. And I think a large part of this generation and this age of Aquarius breaking in is understanding how to do healthy group relationships for people that want to do them. Geminis, air signs. Those are people, Pisces. Those are people that have an ability to love at a high level and expand it. And it's all love. It's all love. And this is the energy that is coming onto this planet right now, guys. But so many people are judging it and casting it and witch hunting it because they don't understand it. And you know what I think? I think it's just so much love. People don't understand it. They don't want to, they're like, oh, too much. Oh, it's too much love. It's what it is too much love, because there is unhealthy polyamory. Absolutely. There's a whole culture of just hookup culture and not respecting anyone's bodies or boundaries. And it's not based on a family orientation. Understand that the new earth is not going to be everyone living the same way. Because I'm seeing a lot of these like regurgitated people just, oh, they're wrong. This is right. It's like, we are not going to grow. We are not going to evolve if people are still doing fucking witch hunts on lifestyles that they don't understand. You can either seek to understand or stay away from it if it bothers you or triggers you to be around people that love each other freely. Honestly, the fact that people are loving people freely and people are getting witch hunted for that and saying, oh, we're protecting children, we're protecting women, we're protecting the family. Mind your business. Mind your business. And I understand these people put these things out there to be, shared and understood by others. And some people are just committed to not understanding you because they are under different knowledge, under different systems that promote other things, and that's okay. But why do you have such a care to harm a belief system that is not your own, rather than just doing your own belief system? If you're not polyamorous, don't be polyamorous. Don't be with more than one person. Don't be with a man that even thinks that he is polyamorous or wants to be polyamorous or talks about it or that he has interest in it. Because that's his soul talking to you and telling you right there then who he is. I've been the same way with my particular works that I do. I've always been upfront and honest with my partners because I know not everyone is going to be chill with who I am, my energy, and what I do. And I want everyone to be respected. I want everyone to have a chance to stay or leave. But you're not going to stay and try to make me change who I am to make you feel comfortable when you come into my life knowing what I'm about at first. Polyamory, true high polyamory, is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen and experienced in my life. And I'll die on that hill. For those of you that have never been in a healthy polyamorous situation, do not speak. Do not speak about things you have never experienced. Do not speak about things you've never seen, witnessed, or been in. Because you don't know. You're basing off assumptions. You're basing off drama. You're not basing off experience. And if you have had an unhealthy, toxic, polyamorous situation, that can cause a lot of wounding. And I'm sorry. But it is not the only type and form of polyamory that there is. It all comes down to, are we all honest? Are we all adults? Are we all mature? Are we able to be open and honest in this? No? Okay, then we probably need to heal. Polyamory does not work with people who are not whole, complete in themselves or loving themselves or have any insecurity at all. Like for me, it's really hard to go in a situation that is like just one race because I'm different, and I feel like it's hard. I bring in a lot of difference in if it's only one racial group. Whereas if it's a more diverse container, that is more energy. That it just feels like a garden to me. Also, my father is a Sagittarius, very much polyamorous sign. The way he had his majority of his life up until now has been polyamorous. Now he's appreciating monogamy. He's getting a little taste of a different world. But his soul, Sagittarian souls, Geminis, they're right across from Sagittarius. They're 180 degrees. They're very polyamorous. They don't like to be tied down or constricted. And they love in a light, fun, different type of way. Everyone loves differently, and that's what this comes down to. Why are we trying to delegate and control people's love? Because all I've ever seen from a healthy polyamorous situation is more money, happy children, happy people, better barbecues, better gathering, bigger families, bigger weddings, big beds, big sleepovers, a fun, always someone to do something with. You're never alone. You can be if you want. But for those of you that, it's a beautiful thing. And this coming out is just showing the rift in the spiritual community of who is not wanting to grow and who wants to keep control and power in one sector. When maybe perhaps it can be multiple ways. Death to polyamory. I'll never forget when I read that on someone's profile. Like, lady, you're crazy. Mind your business. Death to polyamory for you. Maybe you don't ever want to be in polyamory. That's fine. Death for it for you. But when it comes to other people's lifestyles, leave them the F alone, especially when it's consenting, healthy adults that can do whatever they want with their life. I go back and forth all the time. I'm like, sister, wife, single, sister, wife, single, sister, wife, single. Because I love big families. Also, I'm bisexual. I prefer men. I want my end all partner to be a man. That's the highest union for me. But I love a huge family. I love having sister wives. I love having help in the home. I don't want to be the only one cooking, cleaning. Come on. Taking care of kids. That's just me though. I don't expect everyone to be like me. And if you're not like me, that's cool too. But let's just learn from other people's lifestyles that are brave enough to share them with us, because it's really brave to come out and talk about this stuff and get attacked by it. Who knows what this poor man and his family have to deal with now just for fucking being vulnerable and sharing their loving life. Grow up. The world is changing. Age of Aquarius, whether you fucking like it or not. Get left behind with the reptiles or grow like an angel. Expand like a god or a goddess.